Hey, it's Sammy for another episode of the IdOMUSIC podcast, and our goal and our mission is to empower and educate musicians and artists worldwide. And on today's episode, we sat down with music pioneer in promotions and marketing, Kna Knook, discussing working with Rowdy Records, the lesson that Soulja Boy taught him, and how he's sustained in this business for many years. Hey, it's Sammy for another episode of the IdOMUSIC podcast, and I'm sitting down with Adrian Stewart, a.k.a., which most of you probably know as Kna Knook.
Kna Knook.
Yeah. Kna Knook.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to pronounce it, obviously.
I'm gonna tell you that
where did that come from?
The name came from, it's a nickname I got from friends of mine in high school, and from Dallas Austin's nephew, Warren Farmer. We went to high school together. So we had a clique called the Coon Dogs. Everybody in the Coon Dogs had a name similar to a dog, because it's crazy. It's, you know how like when guys treat certain, I ain't gonna say treat, but you know how guys, like, we high school, we boys, we like to splurge out, talk to different girls in high school. So, that back then, you call them dogs. Oh, y'all dogs, y'all talk to too many girls. Y'all ain't trying to be having 4, 5 girlfriends. So, my name was Kna Knook. So everybody I had a homie named Spike, had a homie named Cujo, everybody had a nickname similar to the clique that we called ourselves the Coon Dogs. But the name for some reason kept sticking, because everybody kept calling me, hey Kna Knook, when in college. Hey Kna Knook. So I was like, I might as well just let it stick, because I'm thinking it's just something temporary. So I was like, just let it stick. I don't do that today. So people, I don't do that. I'm the good guy.
Okay.
I'm the good guy right now. So.
Okay. So born here in Atlanta, more specifically East Point and College Park, South Side, and it kind of makes sense for who you ended up running across throughout your professional career. But let's talk about the start. How did you before I get started, I didn't introduce what you did or what you've done over the years, but we will call you a music pioneer veteran, as well as in the realm of promotions and marketing, more specifically in music, working with the likes of Yin Yang Twins, The Outkast, Soulja Boy, Hurricane Chris, Goodie Mob, currently, and consulting for Damian Hall, who's 1/3 of Guy, and back working with Mr. College Park Music. So the list goes on, and we'll get into those accomplishments. But mainly, I want to know how you got started.
How I got started, it's a funny story, in promotions and marketing. It was 1993. I'm telling I'm old, but OG. 1993, it was a record store called Spin City, owned by Jimmy Reed. I kept going to the store for some reason, just to be nosy, because he used to have like different artists coming in there doing album signs and stuff. So I'm like in high school, this is my senior year, I'm going to the store, and sometimes, majority of the time, I wasn't buying nothing. So it kept bothering him. It's like, and Jimmy Reed was like, you're not finna keep coming to my store and not purchase nothing. And so you got to do something. I'm like, what you want me to do? I'm like, let me do something. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep coming in there. So the first artist, it was an artist that's coming in. It was Luke. Luke, I think, what was it? The album? Nasty? No, I can't remember the name of the album. It was the second album Luke dropped. He had me pass out flyers up and down Old National Highway. I'm walking up down Old National Highway, passing out flyers to the discount mall, to the beauty shops that was on Old National, passing out, this is for free. Because I just wanted to, just to be nosy. So we had the album signing, and it was a big success. Because he told me, like, man, we didn't have this many people, like, the past, I think, 3-4 months of different artists they had coming in there prior. It's like, man, you did a good job. I was like, oh, cool, thank you. And so that experience stuck with me. I was telling friends of mine that what I did for the shop. I go back I went to high school with Dallas Austin's nephew, dude named Juan Farmer. So he told me like his uncle. This is when I think ABC, and he's about to start up a label called Rowdy Records, and so they were starting up Rowdy Records behind the group that he had from ABC. So about that time, and so in 93, we kept going back and forth like the Dallas Austin house up in Stone Mountain, and like I'm just taking in like everything I was taking in from watching. Like I was seeing like TLC coming through. Man, so many different folks coming through. The Boys, the Men at that time, they was popping because he did like half production on their album. And so I'm like witnessing like all of this stuff going on. So like I kind of got bit by the bug. So you know what I'm saying. So it you know I thought, I was like, man, this thing's pretty cool, but I didn't grow a passion for it for some reason. Cause my passion was in sports.
Right. I was about to say, what did you want to do?
I wanted to be a basketball coach. So 1994, I went to school. I was going to school at Knoxville College. Taking up physical education. I'm sitting in my dormitory for like the first semester. I was like, for some reason, I was bored. Taking all these classes, like something, I like kept saying something is missing. I don't know what. It's like, but I'm not happy. So I came home. When I came home, 94, friends of mine, same Dallas, my man Warren Farmer, him and his brother, they started a management group. They got into start a management group called the May Group, and so I came home. That it was like a weekend. I came home. I think it was Halloween weekend. I think it was Halloween weekend. I came home and I went and did some couple of talent shows with them. And when I did the talent shows, I was like, that's when it hit me that I really kind of wanted to do the music, because I enjoyed myself being around that atmosphere more.
Yeah.
So, long story short, after that semester, I came home.
Oh, like for good?
Yeah. Night in December when I did not go back to Knoxville College. I came home and started up school. Started the school here. Switched my major what I switched it to? Business. I switched to the business, try to get that going, and then I started interning at this is about like 96, 97. This is when we interning for Rowdy. So interning for Rowdy, and I was still in school. I was like, this is my second year. I was like, but stuff started to pick up. When stuff started to pick up, I had to make a decision. School or this music thing. I was like, I wanted to do this music thing so bad, so I dropped out of school. I did the Kanye West. I did the college dropout.
Why you say that with like you're upset at yourself?
I mean, not. Okay, that's the reason why I said it like that, because if not, from what I know now, I could have did both at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Could took like certain classes like during the day, then split it during the night. See, I did not think about that, doing all that at the point in time.
What value do you place on education? Because you obviously do. Or like, why do you value education? Especially, I have a lot of conversations. I personally graduated from college, and I speak to a lot of my guests who have and have not. So what value do you place on education, and why, especially within like the music and entertainment business? Why would you think that would be more valuable for you?
Oh man, education, like business-wise, like it's so much you can learn. It's a lot you can learn business wise. Like if you're not around certain people that can kind of teach you, it's like you can't get that schooling from school. You know what I'm saying? So, but me being school, I thought I could have got the lesson from both school and the people who I was around. Mm-hmm. You know, so that could have boom. I could have been that Quincy Jones out there. So that's that's what I'm thinking. So like there's some people who drops out and don't go back. Majority be the people like they surrounded by people that already been in the game for like 10 years that know, okay, they feel as though they don't have to go back to college. They're around the people who can teach them, and you know. So, I mean, I encourage kids, like really. I mean, school is the stay definitely be in school. Like if you definitely not around people like that, because I do see people like who drops out of school and not around the people that can teach them that. And then they'll figure it out like 5, 8, 10 years later, like, oh, I need to go back to school. Because what I've been doing 5, 6, 8 years ain't popping, ain't working. Like, nah, I encourage kids, like, man, stay in school. Like, if you ain't got nothing solid behind, like, by you dropping out, by you leaving, stay there, for real. Like, that could benefit you, like, really more in the long run, you know.
I agree. So I talked to you about this off the record because I am one of the few people that's actually from here. Mm-hmm. And it's cool to talk to people who are, because you've witnessed the culture change, not change, but like just the dynamic from up and down to where like you were here during the days of the Dallas Austin Rowdy Records, to interning, to working with him closely, to seeing how like the music business in general kind of plummeted, and now to back to like reviving with these newer labels. Mm-hmm. So tell me what's so special about Atlanta, being born and raised here. What do you think it is that sauce that people keep coming for?
Musically?
I mean, just in general, it may not be music, it could be the culture.
The culture is so, it's like now, well, it's so much you can do in Atlanta. It's like, it's so many different ethnics doing different things, a lot of different things. I witness a lot of different, you know what I'm saying, a lot of good, you know what I'm saying, people who moves here from either different cities, states, overseas, or people like that comes here that's to get the Atlanta vibe, because you hear so much about it going back, like say like Freaknik, and people see they see all of that was going on Freaknik, and some people moved here after Freaknik, mm-hmm. and thinking like, oh man, we gotta catch them club vibes, you know. So we date Atlanta like lit, like for the club vibes, like they doing their thing. Like I'm like, you know, I see people move here, and either not just that alone, sports wise. When like say like when the Braves was winning at the point in time, like if you like a sports fanatic, like the little baseball, you see how the vibe was going. Some people moved here just to, you know what I'm saying, just to catch that vibe, what we had going on. From the Braves, Hawks, we had Dominique doing his thing, and when he played, you know, it just it's so much like the music. We had everything popping musically. TLC, Tony Braxton moved here, and then you got Outkast, and you know, it's just so much musically. It was like, you know, so we had the Rowdy, So Def. I mean, it was just so much going on at that period of time. Like people wanted to catch that wave, you mm-hmm. know, at different aspects. So
like early on working at the record store, Spin City, you've seen the industry change tremendously. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't really use records anymore unless you're just like really into the vintage and you want to hear that.
See, I'm a vintage head. I still go buy CDs.
Wow. I see. No, maybe not CDs. I have a record player where my mom has access to a record player.
And I posted on my Instagram to just let you know CDs still available out there. I hashtag still buy CDs. Like you type it in, still buy CDs, you'll see my post.
You see, like in the car, like, well, at least my car, these newer cars don't have a CD player, so it's just you see the changes, even if you are still buying CDs, which is okay. I'm just curious to know if there's anything you miss from the way the industry was then versus now, and if what new changes I guess you appreciate about the business today.
What I appreciate now, that they kind of nip it more in the bud about like the downloads, like they making it the streams, is I think is a plus, because like all like the Napsters and the at the early age when when they were doing illegal download, that was kind of that was hurting a lot of record sales. Like every time, like I normally used to go on links. Somebody hit me with a link. Download this right now. The album, whoever album came out that Friday. No, this is when the Tuesday release. When the Tuesday release, like you always see somebody hitting you with a link. Oh, download this now. I'm like, man. By me being a music man, I'd be like, It'd be like I'd be wanting to like just it'd be upset, but now the streaming service is a plus. Like it kind of like eliminates like a lot of that. I mean, I still see it kind of going on like with the download with the links, but I see more people accessing to the streams because like they make it so much more available other than just music. Like you could go see your favorite videos, or you can go see your favorite documentaries and stuff like that of your favorite artists on stream sites.
Right. So why do you love what you do? We talked about the fact that you're in like promotions and marketing for these artists and these projects, but kind of go into why you fell in love with that part of it. Because you could have been a DJ, you could have been a rapper, you could have been a dancer, you could have been anything, and you decided to go into promotions and marketing. What was so special about that? Where did that passion come from?
The passion of seeing you starting an artist from the ground up. Cause like everything I said, music. It starts with the music from start to finish. Any artist, what you doing it starts with the music from start to finish. Cause like once me putting certain thing in either a DJ or a radio personality right in their hand from the start, and telling them the situation what we got going on, and explaining them who this artist is and what he's about, and you in that play, and you from that start, from where he is now, that's kind of like, I think that's like a misunderstood passion, because I win by the promotions and marketing aspect. Because the reason why I say that, like you see all the different ventures and shows, like you get like the A&Rs who receive all these big awards, and you get all the executive producers who receive the big awards. But thing people don't understand, like once a music goes out, the first person that music goes out to is the promoter. The promoter's the first person who delivers it at the DJ or, as I said, a radio station. Like he's the one that walking in that record from that start. From the beginning, to make the do what it do, to make the record do what it do, So that's kind of like when I see that from the start, I kind of like that's why I like to see that. Reason why I got a strong passion for it, like doing promotion, because I could have did anything, because I started off originally I was a dancer.
See, I knew I was a dancer.
See, yeah,
see, I knew I see it all in your eyes.
I was part of the Yeet crews back in the day. I was part of the Yeet crews back in the day.
I already know. We're talking about coon dogs.
Yeah,
I know.
I was a part of the Yeet crews. Like we, so I was part of that.
I felt it in your spirit. We all danced at a point in our lives.
I if you go back to the TLC video, Get It Up. I'm in that video.
Really?
Yeah. So
I gotta go back and check you out.
I'm in the back. I got a little red cap on. Get It Up. Doing my 2-step.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so listen, How when things started to change in the music? Well, first off, who was the first like account of the person that you saw or maybe group develop from the beginning to like now, or to a point you working with? Like, who's the first person you can recall?
The first person I recall from the beginning to start, okay, Sammy. When we changed the label from Rowdy to Free World, Sammy, that was something from the start. Cause like everything else was kind of a little bit established. JT Money, when I was dealing with JT Money, he was kind of already a little bit established. But when it was like hands on, like Kna Knook, here, this is the Sam, this is you. I wasn't this one. I'm not interning. Interning, you kind of behind somebody. You know what I'm saying? You watching, you kind of studying. But this is like after I'm already I got a position, and this is from the start when we picked up a little kid, 13-year-old kid, no 12, he was 12-year-old kid out of Florida, Miami, Florida, Sammy, and the first single was the I Like
the way you. My voice is a little gone this morning, but I would sing it for you.
That was something. That was a project
My
from
childhood.
the start. Like that was enjoyable. I like that the way we built them up from where he was at. That was like that was like 2000. Yeah, 2000.
How was that working with someone so young?
It was challenging because that was my first time dealing with a kid artist. Like dealing, just trying to figure out how to pinpoint this buzz. Like, then I just started thinking, like, I had to ask my cousins. I used to call my little cousins, like, what y'all do on the weekend? Mm-hmm. So like, hey, we like to go skating. We like to go see that was
Movies.
like the skating rings was like the spots that's why I blew him up at. The skating ring.
I met Sammy at the skating ring, so I probably seen you.
Probably was it Cascade?
Not, or maybe Cascade or Sparkles.
We did,
it was Sparkles on the south side at one point.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. We did I can't, what was that? It was something we did down there. He sang?
Yeah. Destiny's Child came to that skating rink. Destiny's Child when it was 4 of them, Sammy, and I don't remember. But I lived on the west side, so I lived on the south side, but like my family stayed in the west side, so I'd be between Cascade and Sparkles.
Yeah, that was fun times.
Fun times. That's dope.
Because catering was the spot that I sparked them off at.
Yeah.
Sparked them off in, so. Yeah.
Very much so Atlanta culture.
Yeah.
It's a part of that, and young culture. So
Sparkles.
you didn't really say what you wish the industry still had. Like, what do you think is missing from the industry today that was something that you implemented or something that you incorporated in, like, the way that y'all moved back at that time?
Artist development. That is so missed right now. Like, from, like, back then, like, when you have a hands-on in artist development, it's like you kind of, you shaping the artist of what he should be, other than like now, like you taking it as is. Like when labels like signing artists as is, not what they see. Like what as
numbers and all that stuff.
They see the string numbers of what he got going on. They package it right then and put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So like back then, you had a good nice percentage that it worked. They had a little percentage that it didn't work. Like now it's like you just don't know.
Hit or miss.
Mm-hmm. So like that's one thing I definitely missed, artist development. Like that's a miss that is missing the game right now, artist development.
How did you sustain as things started to change in the business, from the Napsters to the LimeWire to people starting to download? How did you sustain in the business as things began to change? I mean, your role is directly marketing the product, which is what people were not buying at a certain point. So what sort of things were you doing to kind of stay on top and relevant in that space?
More in the marketing aspect, what I started doing as stuff starts transitioning, I started like, okay, try to figure out ways either try to market the artists like either for their shows, like if they got a concert coming up, I start doing promotion and marketing for that. Or if they got like, if they needed like a certain plug, like a TV, they doing like TV appearances. Cause I still have still have relationships in doing that. For like BET, MTV, stuff like that.
Okay.
I reach out certain artists like, you know what I'm saying, or certain labels if they needed that certain plug, you know what I'm saying, for that artist, for that look. So I used to like plug them in on a lot of stuff going on with that.
Oh.
And so from like cause I know the music sales was going down, and so it was like a lot of record labels, a lot of record shops, they was like declining. So it made it kind of hard for artists when they come in the city of Atlanta to have that look. So you got to figure out, okay, what outside of the record shops that you can give that artist that look. That's now you got to think about the college campuses. Like, can we put something together at the college campuses for the artists to come out and do a meet and greet? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Come out, meet the artists, get autographs, stuff like that. And either that or I either did like, say, just go back to the skating ring, do like skating ring events. Like, you got to like kind of...
Just engagement.
Yeah, you got to like put on your thinking cap, just like think outside of just record stores. Like a lot I see a lot of different promoters. They do some promoters I see they do the same thing. They just wasn't thinking outside the box. I had to think outside the box. So that kind of like made me kind of go longevity. Like when I started doing that, I started getting more phone calls from like different companies to come to deal with them. Because I remember when I got the call from BMI. I mean, not BMI, BMG. BMG at the point in time, their distribution. And it was really at the right timing. Because that point in time, they wanted me to do something for Pink. Oh, wow. And do something for the Outkast, Speaker Boss, Love Below. Wow. So it was like the timing for that was crazy. So, because I was dealing, they saw me with a friend of mine, dude named Chad Brown, he worked for BMG. He saw me what I was doing for like previous, like the labels. He saw me, he remembered from back in the day what I was doing for Dallas and stuff. Dallas also when I was doing for that, because we folded, the label, we folded in 2002. Rowdy? Yeah, the Rowdy Freeway, we folded in 2002. Yeah, 2002. And so came like a year later, 2003. Yeah, I had, that phone call came in, and I did the Pink project, and then the Outkast.
Pink is not one of my, it's like my favorite artist of all time.
Oh, okay.
I know that's like super random and weird, and every time I say that, people be like, "What?" No. She just like the first artist I saw.
You got a musical ear. You gotta. I tell everybody, you gotta have a universal ear. Mm-hmm. Don't just have just one diverse ear just for particular music. You got to diverse your ears. Like, why you think like Outkast, each album they drop, it sells more than the last album because their ears they diverse. They try different sounds, different stuff.
What project were you working on for Pink?
What album was that? It was the album Dallas Austin. Dallas Austin executive. I remember Dallas Austin executive produced that album.
Misunderstood. No,
that
was like
that's
the first.
One. That's the first album. It was the second. It was the third. It was the third album.
What the name of it is?
It was Pink. It was the third album that she dropped.
He's like, it's Pink. I know that.
Yeah, because I remember Dallas Austin executive produced the whole album. I can't remember the name of the album. Me.
But no, that's dope. I'm getting closer and closer to meeting her clearly because I sat with KP.
Yeah.
Who worked with her.
That's my guy.
Yeah,
KP
of course.
Prather.
And then now you. So that's great. But how was it? I need to know, being from Atlanta, like I'm super infatuated and just like intrigued by Goodie Mob, Dungeon Family, Outkast, and then you being from East Point and like just like I'm sure y'all had and have that relationship from just being growing up in the same environment, understanding each other there. So how was it working with them early on, and in what capacity were you able to work with Goodie Mob and Outkast?
The Outkast, see, one member I know since back in high school. I've known Dre since back in high school, so we kind of been had that relationship. Okay. and from like the Goodie Mob aspect, how I got down with that. This is a funny story. I did promotion on their first album at the album release party. A friend of mine, I know
It was called Try This. That's what I thought.
A guy. Try This. That's the name of the album.
I think so.
Yeah.
2003.
Yep.
Yeah, it was called Try This.
Yep.
But yeah, sorry.
Oh no, you good? No.
It was gonna bother me.
That's good. I couldn't think of the name of the album. I was like, I remember it was a Pink album, but I can't remember what the album was. Cause then we came behind that with the Outkast, right behind that. And so, you good. But the Goodie Mob. This is a funny story about the Goodie Mob. How I got down with the Goodie Mob. Friend of mine, I don't know if you probably know this guy named Rico Brooks.
Yeah, of course. We had him on here. Did he work at Spin City too, or was it a different record store?
He used to work at Peppermint Records.
Peppermint Records.
That was at Greenbrier.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going into Peppermint Records, right? I knew for some reason I was like, in fact, I loved like the Goodie Mob work, what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a week and a half before they was doing the album release, in the store. It was a midnight album release in the store. And so I was like, man, I gotta. I felt like I wanted I tried to get work from two labels. I tried to get work from LaFace. This is the thing. I kept sending resumes and this and that to LaFace. Nobody wasn't calling me back. So I'm like, man, I got to figure out. How can I figure out who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to talk to just, you know what I'm saying, get my intern down, what I need to do to get this work in the face. And I found out they was doing a album signing, a midnight release album signing that night at Peppermint Records. I knew Rico Brooks was in there working. I was like, dude, whatever you want me to do that night, I will help. So we came, he told me to come. I think it was like 11:30. I remember it was a line outside. We were passing out these goodie bags. They had like the goodie bags, it was fit for the title of the album, Soul Food. It had like toothpicks. It had a toothpick in the bag. It had like what you call like a handkerchief, like, you know, when you go to picnics to wipe your face, they had the little Goodie Mob. They had that, all that in there. It was all in like in this little goodie bag. And we passed them probably about 250, 300, about 200 folks was out in line that night. Yeah, it was a lot from outside the mall. So I helped passing them out. And so they come in the store, Goodie Mob, they come in the store, and I bothered, I think it was Shanti Das. She was there. I kind of like, yeah, that's me. I'm passing out all the bags. That's me. Passing out the bags, still trying to get my little intern thing going. You know, so I try to get my little work going on over there at LaFace, because they were popping at the time. Mm-hmm. They had so much going on. They had more stuff going on than us that were over there Rowdy. They had Tony Braxton, TLC, Outkast, Goodie Mob. I mean, they had like so much going on. Then they had the Boomerang soundtrack. Oh, they had I was like, I need to work over there too. Right. So I tried, but I got shot down at the Peppermint Records. Like, we fully staffed. So I was like, all right. But I made sure. But the guys, but two of the members, they remember my face for doing what I was doing. So years and years kept progressing. So I kept seeing them off and on. Goodie Mob, when I say what's up to them and stuff like that. And came around point, they got back together around 2013. Yeah, they came back together, made the announcement. They back together doing the Goodie Mob reunion show. Mm-hmm. So I kept in contact with them then, because they knew the stuff I was doing, because they needed like help doing kind of marketing and promotion. So we kept in contact with them then, and so back and forth, helping them do like little stuff, like help set up like promo shoots or for meet and greets with when they was doing the reunion, and we started. They started. They was like when it was dropped the Age Against Machine. That was like 2015. 2015, yeah, 2015. So I got a look behind that. That album helped promote, market, help that album out, and just been kind of rolling really with them since then. Like now I'm the assistant manager to the group. About to surprise some folks next year.
Really?
With something.
With something?
Yeah, something. Gonna surprise some folks next year.
Okay.
Well, it's new. Well, we're gonna drop a new goodie.
Okay.
Executive organized behind it. That's what we about to get them folks. What people been asking for. So
that's what's up.
You
don't sound as excited as
no.
I'm
excited. I am excited. I'm excited. I'm very excited because it's long. I think it's long overdue. So it's like people, saying been wanting this. People I always see like the certain posts. Like, oh man, we're gonna get a Goodie Mob organized, blah blah blah. Or people still be wanting that Outcast. So, but we gotta give them something. Give them what they've been asking for. Give them that Goodie Mob. So new Goodie coming from all four members. So low, I don't think to stop all the it's CeeLo. Yes, CeeLo's still part of the group. Like I still get that. Like for some reason, still 5 years from past 5 years, people still asking me that. So I'm gonna give it to you.
That's what's up. I'm excited for that for sure. So talk about some of your some of the people you learned from. Obviously, you mentioned Dallas Austin a few times, but I'm sure you have music mentors in a sense. In what ways did you grow under certain leadership or direction, working at the Rowdy Records, working at interning and being around in this scene, and just kind of trying to get work where you could? What were you learning during those times?
I learned a lot. I learned a lot from different aspects. Though I didn't even mention my time at College Park Music. I haven't even said nothing about that. That's my bad. I
didn't get into it either.
Yeah, I spent a good stint working at College Park Music, dealing with Yin Yang Twins. I mean, I learned a lot from Mr. College Park, from Rap Dallas. What stuff I learned, kind of knowing how to handle different artists differently. Cause not every artist I dealt with, either when working with them two, is totally different. It's a totally different marketing promo when I deal with them. I learned a lot from artists. Well, even the artists, I learned a lot from Soulja Boy. I was like,
what you learned from Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy, he taught me more about the internet. Cause when we doing shows. I was in the internet, but I wasn't heavy in the internet like that kid was.
Of course.
He sleeps with his Mac. We be on the bus, his Mac is sitting right beside him. When he wakes up, first thing he's on his laptop. Mm-hmm. It's I learned different stuff, how to do a lot of different stuff from internet wise through him. Yeah,
because he had the craziest strategy ever, putting his stuff on downloads or whatever in different names and all of that for that one song. Yeah,
one song. Yeah, people don't even understand. A lot of people don't even know that how that crank that took off. He put that record, whatever record that was hot at that period of time, he'll label it that. But once you press play,
he was trolling.
That.
He trolled us. I remember trying to download my favorite songs at the time on LimeWire. You would search on there, and then every single song would be dun dun dun, and it's bruh. But you love the song.
Exactly, because he made it to the point that it's a love or hate it, but it was more love.
Yeah, than
anything. But I know it aggravated some folks. They couldn't find their favorite tune. When he told me that what he did, I was like, wow. We all sat back wow. When he told us actually what did he do, like the pop that record off, I was like, we sat back like, wow, really? I didn't think you can do that. But
Right.
then he sat there and showed me like what he did. He sat there. I think we was doing
genius, actually.
he was doing the V103 car and bike show.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I first met him after we signed him. He came, did that, like, we signed him. He did it, I think it was like in July. Yeah, the pit of July 07. We signed him like in May. Yeah, May, like mid-May. This is when we signed him, like mid-May. And he came, did the car and bike show that's like first week of July. And that's when I met him. I've been talking to him on the phone back and forth, but I didn't actually meet him in person yet till that car show. He sat there and just showed me what he did. I was like, what? Is that easy to cheat the game?
Listen, he had a good little strategy, and I don't knock him for it. I don't knock him for it.
Smart. Now everybody come behind him, try to do the same. Like, it will never be. Nah, that can't be duplicated.
Yeah, definitely not. So, can you tell me about or think about a mistake you may have made? Not to say that it's a regret or anything, just something you may have done along the way, and what you would have done differently in that situation and why.
Okay, things I know I regret.
They don't have to be regrets. I don't believe you should live life with regrets.
I don't have no regrets. I call it lessons. I call it like life lessons. Cause like you're not gonna know everything in this business. It's like you gonna bump your head at a certain point in time in this business. So I tried to take on too much projects at one time. I remember that point. I remember I tried to take on too many. Matter of fact, I go back. This is go back College Park Music, which is when we dealing with Hurricane Chris and Soulja Boy. Both of them popping at the same time. I'm sitting there trying to maneuver both of them. Like certain days at the same time when I kind of knew I could like, okay, deal with this dude for the afternoon, deal with this dude later, like a couple hours later. But I tried to maneuver both at the same time, phone calls, email chats, do so much at one time. Mm-hmm. And it kind of it worked for one, but didn't work for the other. You know, so like everybody see like, because we tried to get both of them equally successful at the same time. Equally successful, but we all knew Soulja Boy took off more further than Hurricane Chris. Yeah. So I kind of like, if I handled the Hurricane Chris situation like this, then we could have did, you know.
It's okay. Things happen.
Yeah, things happen, but we was rolling. We had the A-Bay and Soulja Boy turn. And I'm like, man, I try to do too much. I try to do too much. I don't know if I thought to myself like my ego got in the way. Because I try to do so much, and then not just that, we signed VIC the same year. So I try to figure out towards the end of the year, try to finagle him inside both of them going on. Nah.
Not a good move.
Nah. That's when I realized you got to step back. That's when at the end of the year in December, November, I said, let me step back a little bit because they there where they at. Let me concentrate more on VIC. So concentrate more on VIC, got them popping with the Get Silly record, and yeah. So we popped that.
Yeah, you were in the heat of it all in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. So currently you're working with Goodie Mob. You're doing consulting. How has the journey been for you now, and what you got going on right now?
Now it's like more. I'm more relaxed. It's like I don't get like the million calls. Like, I used to get like so many calls like from DJs, PDs, record stations. Hey man, when that remix when y'all gonna drop the remix? When y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do about this art? I used to get constant phone calls. Email me this record, or open up my email, see constant different emails from different DJs. Some of them be like fake DJs. People be faking themselves when DJs want like free music.
For real?
Yeah, like people. Then I said internet. Like people like they done figured out like how to get free downloads. Like they pretend like they DJs.
That's crazy.
And email me. They'll see my information. Like for like say College Park, whoever. They'll get my information and they'll send me email. I'm DJ such and such. I DJ at blah 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 blah. Can you send me music? And so I get so much of that because like people don't understand. I do my research. Like as soon as you send me your name, I'm gonna do my research, see who you is, see you actually legit.
Right.
So when I see them they ain't legit, I just quickly block them.
Not block.
Yeah.
I feel you. Well, we're kind of closing out just a little bit. We're running out of time. I'm pretty sure that there was a few things I wanted to touch, but I want you guys to at least follow this young man and see him paying. I wanted to get into the part where we were talking about off the record of you saying or stressing, paying homage to those who are here, and giving artists and just people their roses while they're here. So I'm gonna give you your rose and thank you for all that you've done as a music pioneer and in marketing and promotions. And then also just tell them where they can find you so they can keep up and see some more of your positive words.
You can definitely lock in. My Instagram is Kna Knook. It's KNAKNOOK. You can lock into that. You can follow me on that. Or you just like follow Goodie Mob with stuff we got going on. We got a couple of things going on. Got shows, got new album, new records coming out, And then on the guy aspect, guy got something new. They got something cooking up next year with Teddy. New album. I'm helping them with that, and we just gonna be rolling right now. If anybody needs some consulting, you can holler at me. I do that. I do that also, consulting, marketing. You can hit me up. I'm not gonna, bite you.
He not gonna block you right away. Just don't come with the BS.
I ain't gonna block you. I ain't gonna block you. I ain't gonna do that. So you can definitely hit me up.
That's what's up. Well, thank you again for sitting down with me on the IdOMUSIC podcast. As always, you guys can follow us at IDM Podcast and myself at Sammy Approved. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you.
No problem.
Sonically superior.